formed against me shall prosper. Oh, it won't work.
No weapon
formed against me. Give me that ad-lib again.
No weapon.
One more time.
No weapon.
One more time.
No weapon.
Who the fuck y'all hoes think?
The facts are back.
Who the fuck y'all hoes think it was, bitch, or what time of day it was? Okay.
You gotta understand that this is a community-based project. We're not getting any funding from the government. I seen bitches out there talking about, wait till Trump hears about this. Trump can suck my dick.
I got to wait till Tuesday. Okay. Oh my God. I just need to keep hearing that right there. Hey, you are awesomely awesome. And you're the best. You're the best. Bless. Just hell. I can't even sound, you know what to say.
Had a vision for 20 in the morning, thinking of my little sister said morning. Struggling with realities, no maladies, holidays ain't the same, everything's changed. No Bowie, no Prince, and no Michael, no Andre Crouch and the Disciples, no Walter, Edwin or Deborah Lee, no Whitney, no George Michael. Toys R Us gone bankrupt. Damn, they guitars hit it went bankrupt. Everything from my childhood's missing, man. Man, I swear it's such a fucked up feeling, man. I'm the man, it's a simple observation. And I'm not sad, but it's not a celebration. I'm just trying to put the pieces back together, man. Everything's falling through my fingers like sand. It seems a tighter that I'm gripping. It seems more that I am slipping. I feel like I lost everything I love. Where's just a legend of God be loved? And churches ain't the same. Gospel music just ain't the same. R&B it just ain't the same. But y'all keep telling me it's the same. But I ain't feeling nothing, damn it. And I don't wanna reach up and grab it. Shots fired, get to ducking. Always knew they were up to something. This ain't no future when you're frontin'. And y'all know you still have it, fool. I'm not a baby, bro, I'm grown. Don't leave me standing out here alone. That's why I wrote this song. Because I know I'm not alone. What are we out here doing? What are we out here saying? People don't care no more. So fuck it, I don't care no more. This is too much for you to handle. I was always too much to handle. There ain't nothing new about me. You don't want authenticity. You don't want sincerity. 2020 brought me clarity. Now I see who you really are. No mask wearing, mailbox record, racist motherfucker. Let's go. Homie, you don't really want it. Sis, you don't really want it. I'm your nightmare opponent. Walking in a new anointing. Walking past all your bullets. Nothing in your trigger bullet. Try and pull it again. No weapon missed again. Tired of talking about changes. Tired of going through changes. Lie after lie. Lie after lie. Republicans and the Democrats. Prime ministers and bureaucrats. Senators and aristocrats. HBO and Cinemax. Still the babies in the cages. Babies dying in the cages. I ain't forgot about the cages. And if you did, then you're a racist. Call it out like it is. Call it out like it is. We've been indoors for a year. And we're heading for another year. Lights off for Cologne. High interest student loans. Living in a pandemic. Calculated and systemic. Start with black folks first. Kill that melanin first. Presses down and we pop up. Presses down and we pop back up. Speaking of getting it poppin', I heard you wanna get it poppin'. 400 years picked up. I guess you really wanna get picked up. We ain't playing with that ass. I'll get all up in that ass. Been doing wrong for too long. Time to sing a brand new song. Free at last. Free at last. Thank God Almighty. We're free at last. ahead for the team. Took a bullet for the dream that we would one day all be free, free from prejudice, free from sexism, free from bigotry. I die for creativity, I die for freedom to be free. I died and left a legacy. Oh, but baby, I'll still live through technology. After the sun, oh, then comes the rain. Yeah. And after the storm, the sun will start shining. Blood, tears of pain, and tears of pain, and tears of pain, and a dash of struggle, justification. Your destiny will manifest, yes, forwards in the city.
What is going on, y'all? What's going on? I ain't gonna hold y'all. I'm kind of like in my human side today as far as my emotions is concerned, which is why it's labeled rant. And I figured, well, since this whole situation that we're dealing with right now is really in the realm of humanity, that's the source, broken parts of humanity expressing itself. And plus also a conversation I had last night with one of the people within my inner circle, and just even some of the conversations I had today. Because y'all, when I tell y'all, I talk to people every day. And I'm grateful for that, and we're going to get into that, but it's also stressful as hell too, no shade energetically. But we're going to get into that, and also I want to let people know that it's okay to be human. It's okay to speak from a place of hurt, from a place of pain, but you also got to work through that shit too, because if you don't, it's going to create further what the fuck we are dealing with. And no shade. The reason why shit is popping off like this is because I think the conversation that all of us don't want to have is that in some way, some shape, form, or fashion, we have contributed to this. What's going on right now is a reflection of humanity. And for the individuals out there that are saying, oh, you know, well, well, all lives matter and all this other type of shit, this is the time to prove it. So it's going to be kind of melancholy in this bitch. It's going to be a little depressing in this bitch. It's going to be a little dark in this bitch, but it's also going to be a little abrasive in this bitch. Because I'm going to also talk to us, the individuals who also keep playing into the cycle. Playing along with other people's delusions as if though if we keep doing the same thing that they're doing and expect a different result, that maybe we won't be the ones that are insane. We got to do something different. So this is going to be an ego death type of live, baby. And if it's not something that you can't fuck with or you can't rock with, go sit your ass down and figure out how the fuck you going to heal then. But these are for the individuals that want change. And this is the type of content that I've really been trying to hold off on. Because even last night or the night before last, I can't even remember, bitch, these past few days. There is something in me that is irritated at humanity. And I'm sorry, I can't sit around and pretend like everything is good when it's fucking not. So if this ain't your stilo today, if you don't have the mental wherewithal to deal with this today, that's understandable, boo. But for the ones who do, those are the ones that I'm talking about. But before I tell you what inspired this live, let me go ahead and check the comments. We got Queen Stevie in the building. I hope everything is well with you. You said you coming in for a few minutes. And oh Lord, not you moist. Oh no, I'm moist. I'm just playing. Moist like what? So red velvet cake. You know I love red velvet cake with some cream cheese icing on it. You saw the cream cheese icing, I'm there. Okay, and good luck and on your interview. And I'm gonna definitely talk to you in the group chat because I think you shared something about having your first troll today. So I'm glad that you are preparing yourself for that because I feel like all of our chats are gonna be filled with a bunch of trolls, and unfortunately some of them will not be bots. Okay, we got Boy Crazy in the building. What's going on? Hope all is well with you. Glad to have you here with me. Queen Stevie says all of the things that you're feeling, we are feeling. And Daniel Moody, yes, which the clip we used yesterday was Daniel Moody, so again, make sure you subscribe to her as well, said that in her video when she said she's broke down and she cried. It's okay. We went to the doctor today, and my doctor, she asked me how I was doing. She asked me how was I doing? How was I managing stress? I told her not okay. I just told her it was a wellness check and everything is good, so I'm feeling fab. Other than I have to cut back down on my weight. No shade, baby. Let me tell you something. There's so much shit going on as far as stress. That stress will hang onto your damn body. Do you hear me? No shade. And even though it's going to be a very dark, depressing, melancholy live, there is a silver lining. That's what I want us to do. Because for those that can't handle the wherewithal, baby, you're going to have to find a way to deal with it, to grow in that. Because all these challenges, right, we're going to speak on it from a spiritual, esoteric, and emotional standpoint. That's why I'm not playing into the whole panicking thing like everybody else is. And there's some things within me that are starting to come out now that I need to deal with. For example, like being a people pleaser. Trying to be the hero. Trying to save. And I got to realize there's some people that you can't save because at the end of the day, we have to save ourselves first of all. And that is where self-love is. Before we get into the live, copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. All the videos, songs, images, and graphics used in this live belong to their respective owners, and BubzDaGawd does not claim any right over them. Okay? Boy Crazy says, I hope all is well on your end. Energetically, spiritually, I'm irritated, and I'm going to talk all about it. I'm going to talk all about it. And I think all of y'all, if y'all still going to rock with me for this live, I feel like y'all going to be able to agree. And that's why we need to start talking about how we feel online, but also trying to figure out how to complete that circle. Not to leave it open for a bunch of other low vibrational shit to come in and influence those things because no one knows what to do, but to try to complete the circle, which means by trying to work through your emotions. And baby, the only way you're going to survive these next 4 years or whatever the fuck else is about to come, you're going to need emotional awareness and intelligence. But the one thing that you cannot forget is that you are human. That is the one thing that links all of us together. That is the starting point which can be redeemed. But in order to see redemption in somebody else, you got to see redemption within your damn self. Keon says, yo, popping in a little bit just before work. Just want to tell somebody in here, if no one told you today, I love you and you deserve a hug. Thank you, Keon. We all do. And no shade. Make sure y'all check out the Black Anarchist podcast. Just released his book entitled Blame It on the Dress. I think I'm on chapter 3 already. I think he has it for free for a couple of days. So if you want to go ahead and download it and read it, I would implore you to do so. I'm going to be doing a review on it, a live review, but I'm also going to throw some edited stuff in there as well, and kind of give y'all my perspective on it. And no shade, it really is telling, especially with what's going on in America today. It's very telling, and especially in the black community. Because one thing I'm gonna do is keep my foot on the black community's neck, or shall I say, from their perspective, they feel like it's me keeping my foot on their neck, when in actuality, I'm trying to help your ass up. See, niggas are so used to punching down as opposed to punching up. I'm here to extend my damn hand. But you punching up at the wrong motherfuckers and punching down on the wrong. It's a lot of wrong shit that is manifesting. Stevie says mental health is real. I said this on the show yesterday, the day before, with Troy. Be vulnerable and share it. And that's why I do what I can to create safe spaces for individuals to do so. Queen Stevie also says, Don Lemon also said as well, that we have to protect our mental health in peace and peace. It can make us feel weary, but that's what he wants. He wants us to fold, and you cannot allow the dark entity to win. And not just what the trauma administration is doing, but what individuals are doing in response to the trauma administration. Again, things that are happening on the lower levels of society where the majority, of us are at. And yes, I'm gonna be stuttering, girl. It's one of those days. Okay? But let's get into the video that I have for you guys real quick. Pull up real quick, like that. Now, what inspired this live was I had a conversation with one of the individuals who is in my inner circle. And we were talking about just how a lot of people in the black community, unfortunately, especially those who have voted for him, what is the plausible reason for this? And I even shared with them that there's a YouTuber by the name of Boss Man, shout out to him. I told them on the phone that I was watching his lives recently and him being on a certain platform network, trying to have these real ass conversations that a lot of these people say they want to have. They fail to come up. They fail to engage in the conversations. And, you know, it's just the fact of no matter what you do to show people objectively what's going on, no matter how much you put the actual truth in their face, that there are some people who are just through fear not going to do that. And the part that sucks is that innocent people are going to pay the price for that. Innocent meaning individuals like myself, like those under the sound of my voice, and even for those who voted for that man to manifest this reality. But then this individual said to me something that kind of shocked me back into reality, because again, because I know where humanity is going, at least here in America, there's a part of me that has this urgency to help, has this urgency to want to stand in the gap. And especially being an individual who grew up being bullied, being hurt, being used and abused, I still found ways to show up for other people. But what I'm learning now as an adult is that I never had a healthy boundary with that, which is what I'm learning now. So there are moments where I get in a place to where I want to help people so much, and what can I do, and just be the problem solver. I watch other content creators try to become problem solvers, not individuals who stoke the fucking flames of fear and found the way to be on some white supremacist shit and try to benefit from it financially. And also, we gonna start calling motherfuckers out, because ain't gonna be no respect when no respect is given. There are a bunch of motherfuckers right now that were proclaiming and professing Trump's supremacy and how powerful and amazing he is. And now these niggas see what's going on and they're very fucking quiet, and that irritates me. Because now is the time to show up and show us what a real nigga looks like. And the only real niggas that's popping up and saying shit is the niggas that y'all say ain't real niggas. But then that person said to me that because we live in this reality where there's only free will, where there is free will, where people can do what the fuck they want to do, there are some people that you're just not going to be able to save, and that hurts my heart. I can understand the sentiments of other people who feel the same way. There are Christians who feel the same way about the queer community. There are ex-gays who feel the same way about the queer community. But then there are some of us who are willing to go beyond the fear, to walk into the fear, because the fear gonna come whether you want it to or not. Now, how long it stands in your face and intimidates your ass is up to you. But there's also an opportunity in the midst of the fear to be able to walk through it. And when I talk about this shit, I'm not talking about this shit because this is just something that I read. This is something that I'm also employing in my own life. Do you know how scary it is? Because I'm an empathic person, I also have empathy for individuals who assimilate through fear. Because even though some of us saying, oh, we ain't gonna bend the knee and all that type of shit, that reality is manifesting to where, again, even we gonna have to walk it and talk it out. Because unfortunately, we are going to be the ones that they start with first. And I keep saying that I want to be wrong. I keep asking for people who claim to be intellectual and shit to be able to prove to me objectively that I'm wrong. Because when you are a critical thinker, you have an open mind, you do your research, you start to operate on the basis of like how scientists are supposed to operate. They are supposed to observe and report, observe and report. That when you get new information that challenges your current information and creates ground for further growth in an objective way, that is called critical thinking. And there are people right now who claim to know what the fuck they're talking about, and then when the opportunity comes for them to do so, they're nowhere to be found, nowhere to be heard. They are quiet. And then you have people who continue to lie. Did y'all not watch Boss Man's live last night where he brought up proof about individuals saying that we don't have to give you due process? The fuck? We get to label you what we want to label you. We get to put the fear on you, and what people fear, people fear what they don't understand, and then they begin to hate what they fear. And what happens to something that you hate? You kill it. You destroy it. And me being told, which was a harsh reality, a wake-up call again for me to snap me out of it, is that maybe some of the destruction, maybe some of the death, maybe some of the frightening vibrations in the goddamn calm before the storm, the fucking energy and spirit that went around killing all the firstborns, just creeping in the background, waiting for the green light. That all that happening is also a part of God's source, universe's consciousness, will. And that right there snapped me back. And I had to sit with that. Not only because of what can happen to me, but what could possibly happen to people like my mom, my dad, my sister, who just is newly engaged to her wife, future wife. What that means for individuals in the queer community that I know personally. That I have to be okay with that. But this is where it gets scary. This is the one thing that the other side, the 1%, the one that wants the greed and the wealth and hoard everything and use and abuse and don't heal, I want y'all to understand under the sound of my motherfucking voice. That if that is part of the ultimate objective reality that would never ever be changed, I want them to understand that the same can happen to you. And if you sit there and find a way to justify how the fuck it cannot happen to you, you have just exposed the one fucking thing that you said that you don't operate in, which is superiority. What makes you fucking special? And until motherfuckers can tell death, come back in 400, 500 years pimping, then I'll be ready. They can't tell me a motherfucking thing. See, you have individuals that want to be able to give the smoke, but can't handle the smoke. You got individuals that are performative as fuck. And barely as good at even doing that. Then this morning, I had 2 conversations with people that, again, are in my inner circle. And even the confusion that is happening, the misinformation that is happening on a collective scale, which we're all seeing, they also spoke about how it affects their life individually in their own household. How all that stuff that we thought was gonna happen to fuck over there and be the hell over there, the fact that it's now in our own fucking backyard. And that's the one thing about energy that I think y'all need to really start understanding. No shade. Emotion is energy in motion. You need to understand that, because they play on your energy in motion and guide and control where your energy goes. And the people in my inner circle are very good fucking people who are doing the best that they fucking can. Been through hell in their life from a bunch of other ignorant ass motherfuckers, projecting their fears, their failures, their bitterness onto their fucking children. Even though my childhood dealing with other motherfuckers outside the house was fucked up, at least I'm grateful that I had parents who loved me. Not loved me, but love me, which means to this day. But I've also came into contact with people who don't have that with their parents. And these would be the same motherfuckers who would get on these platforms and tell other motherfuckers like me that children need to be protected and that the queer community is the one that is fucking everything up. But meanwhile, in your fucking household, you are the demon. In your household, you are the instigator. And even right now, I'm practicing fucking patience. Even when I really want to go to fuck off. And you know what would happen? If I went to fuck off, that's when my channel would grow. That's when I would reach 1,000 subscribers like that. And that's another fucking thing. A lot of individuals don't want to come into the cut unless there's some dramatic shit going on, especially niggas. Which is why I do my lives the way that I do, which is why I always put music behind my shit, because niggas love music. I know how theatrical niggas can be. That's the hell we've been this whole fucking time, is performative as a bitch. Always been shookin' and jiving. That's something we had to do, but do out of survival. And here we are yet again in 2025 doing that shit out of survival. And at the detriment of other people. And then we're supposed to be the ones, the people who are good, who went through shit in their life and transformed their motherfucking life. We survived the Pennywise ass clown as children, and now this bitch want to come back as adults in this bitch? Like it's gonna try to get a reprise in this mug? No. We're gonna deal with the fear today. We're going to address the fear today. Because there are some of us who have to go through fear. Talk hella shit about queer people, but don't even sit down and have a conversation to even understand what the fuck they've been through in their life. You allow the Bible to control the narrative on their lives, but then when we come through and use that same book on your ass to see how you should be living, and we see that you ain't living right. You might be believing you living better, but you still ain't living right according to this word. Now all of a sudden there's a justification that you can use. No, baby. I don't give a damn what motherfuckers think. Human beings can create class. They can create all these goddamn systems. But if it's one thing that's going to always be apparent in mankind's history, is that God, source, universe, consciousness, mother nature, whatever, will humble your motherfucking ass. Everything comes to a goddamn end. And even though death and destruction is not a beautiful sight, even though healing has never been a beautiful ass journey, there is beauty in it. And it's a bunch of Thanos wannabe ass motherfuckers that want to snap and make certain realities happen, but exclude themselves. No, baby, the universe will always find a way to prove to you that, bitch, you will never ever master it. It's a bunch of miserable people in positions of power who thought that what the fuck they manifested was going to make them safe, was going to make their lives better. And we see it now. We have people who are in positions that many of us would love to be in, who are literally telling you what the fuck it really is. And meanwhile, we ignore them because we have our own ideas of what it's gonna be. And then when that reality hits, now all of a sudden we fucked up and we messed up. And now we're trying to go back and listen to what the fuck they said, the individuals that went through the shit and survived the shit. But I guess for some of y'all, that's the beauty of the internet, of YouTube. Because now you get to go back and listen to some shit while you have the chance. But you don't, in the words of Inyala Van Zant, you don't get to speak to me ever again. But there's one video that I would like to play that I was trying to include in the live last night, but I forgot about it last minute. I thought I had downloaded it. I tried to do it, which is why the live yesterday, or day for yesterday, I'm sorry, on Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken, was so glitchy in the beginning, was because I was trying to export it while running the live, and my laptop does not have that much power to do all that shit, so I had to stop it. But here's the video. This video is from a YouTube channel called NowThis Impact, and it speaks about how we can stop fascism, how we can stop a civil war from manifesting. And that video is from 2 years ago. I want y'all to take a listen to what this man says, because even though shit is dark, like I told y'all, there is a silver lining. And the fact that my views have dropped proves that there are some people who just ain't ready for those conversations. And for them, I just pray for them. Because unfortunately, the reality is hitting all of us. And it's not gonna miss any of us. But even though that is the case, just because we have an idea of how things, even though things do end, we don't know how it's going to end, which means that we still have somewhat of a chance. And even though the door is slowly closing and the darkness is almost fully enveloping us to where it has completely dominated the space, there is still a sliver of light. Let's listen to what that sliver of light is.
Like you, I hear all the gathering talk of another civil war. And perhaps like many of you, I refuse to accept this trajectory. I refuse to accept that this country has no future. I refuse to accept that America is just done. Partly because I have no other country. No matter how many times I have been told to go back to it. For the record, I'm not going back to Cleveland. I think too many people in the pro-democracy cause are failing at our task because we've all but given up on persuasion. And historically, when people give up on changing minds, their recourse is often the use of force. Writing off your fellow citizens is the road to civil war. If this republic is to have a chance, we in the pro-democracy camp need to do more than condemn the fascists. We need to out-compete them. Oftentimes in politics, a transactional approach dominates. I am running for something and I want you to chip in $5, make 20 phone calls, drive 30 minutes to the polls, the end. Transactions. Organizers who speak of meaning-making view voters in a completely different way. They see voters and citizens generally as being in a constant state of processing the world. In this view, people are not little blue and red robots. They are complicated vessels of impulses and sentiments, and they are constantly receiving information from the world that is often confusing and needs to be sorted out. They notice changes in their town. Their workplace has problems. They hear things on the news. Their kids come home from school saying they learned a new thing the parents have never heard of. The far right.
Now, before we go forward into that, I do agree with that. We as individuals, as human beings, yes, we are very complicated people. We have feelings, we have emotions. We're trying to, again, like he said, process everything. And maybe humanity is in a state of being completely overwhelmed. And if that is the case, then why fight individuals who will do the work that y'all cannot do because y'all are overwhelmed with the information? And be able to come share that information with y'all so that some of the things that are complicated we can make easy. Yes, there are some things in life that we're going to manifest that are just part of the process. We are promised days of trouble. But what happens is that because we are complex and we don't know how to deal with being complex, try to work out that puzzle, we can get caught in very toxic, damaging, and dangerous cycles. And then get into such an overflow state with that now we are bleeding out and projecting that onto other people. And we are all, if we're going to be honest, are guilty of doing that. But the only way that you stop from doing that, the only way you grow and change from doing that, is that you have to start having conversations with individuals who are objective enough and who are willing to be open-minded enough and also face the fear enough to have those individuals come around, face the fear, talk about what's really going on, and work through that. And whatever egoic response as far as, oh, I'm wrong, that mean they know more than me, I'm dumb and I'm stupid, work through that shit. But since we don't want to come together in the realm of humanity to work with each other, because we may have, the queer person may have information that may contribute to the society that society has been lacking for the longest time and has been responding in this way. But do you see what happens? There are people who also have a certain level of awareness, who do it in a more inorganic way. Again, like I used with Homelander from The Boys. I would prefer to be loved, honored, worshiped, and adored organically, naturally. The fact that these human beings would make a choice in their heart to love me, because I know that it's real. But if they do not give me that, then I have no problem accepting the next best thing, which means I'm going to force you to love me. I'm going to force you to appreciate, respect, honor, adore through fear. But you know what the fucked up part about that is? Is that the one thing that they wanted, which was that natural, organic love, they ain't gonna never really get that. So yes, you were able to force the people in the action to do what you want to do, but there's still gonna be something in the back of that mind, back of that brain, bitch, in the back of that experience, the back of the psyche, that will be telling you in your ear, that small, still voice telling you, you know it's not real, right? You know the love that they're giving you is not organic or authentic, right? You know that. See, love is about transforming yourself first, and then the world changes, because now they know what freedom looks like. But it seems like in America, girl, especially from the motherfuckers who claim to know what freedom look like by a savior and a figure, girl, they're literally operating in the most inorganic way, more of the Antichrist way, which is, I'm going to conform you, and to force you to conform. Not it is with love that has drawn these individuals to me, but fear. But even though that is the case, and that case is going to grow, I'm talking to the individuals who care about the family of humanity. The ones that when they say all lives matter, they mean that shit. That means that no matter who the fuck it is, if there is oppression going on with these individuals, bitch, we will stand in the gap for them because, again, all lives matter, and not just a fucking response because y'all don't want to be accountable for that. Because if all lives matter, there will be one group of people that will have to go around to every motherfucking body and say, sorry, 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 I'm sorry, 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 sorry. There will be apology tours around the world, and there are some motherfuckers who not ready for that because not only will they have to deal with the words of sorry, they're gonna have to walk that out, and they are not going to do that because that ego is too motherfucking dense. But let's continue to the hope of the sliver of hope that is being shared in this video. And again, this is from 2 years ago.
And its media ecosystem have astutely understood that we live in an age of dizzying, discombobulating psychological transitions in technology, in gender roles, in race, in demographics, in the dominant view of our history, in the structure of the economy, in world trade. And so Tucker and Trump and other demagogues in the media and in politics inflame these psychological transitions by preying on stress and confusion and helping to array the experiences people are having into a fascist fantasy. They seize on and distort obscure local news stories.
I should have found a way to remove the music. I forgot. I didn't know. I thought it was no music here, but go ahead.
To make already jittery Americans fear Chinese lab leaks and asylum seeker invasions and jihadists next door and undocumented rapists and George Soros plots. They make it make sense for voters. But they are making sense out of lies and hatred.
That is it right there. There are people who are afraid, and there are people, again, who are going to come through and try to justify that fear. But instead of trying to justify the fear as far as acknowledging for what it is and then helping individuals to get through it, why do that? Why do the right thing? Why do the human thing? Why do the Christ-like thing when I can sit up here and literally manipulate the fuck out of your emotions and your feelings, put you in a state of panic, do whatever I can to vilify and demonize these individuals so that you don't even go trying to look and see for your damn self. And now that I got you in a fucking whirlwind of fear and confusion, guess what? I have the answer and the solution, but it comes with a price. And people will pay any amount of money to feel safe. You know what my fear is? If we're talking about fears, again, we go through them here. Even though we scared as fuck, even though we have moments where we kind of shook, we still go through it. With fear and trembling, move. You hear people bringing up the whole Nazi situation that happened and the steps that was taken to make this work. And again, I'm reminded of a clip that I have on my Instagram and TikTok where I told y'all that during the 2000s, like 2000, anywhere from like 2000, like 2005, I want to say, back when MTV played music videos, it was music television, it was literally that. They showed 2 different commercials that was pulled from that network after like a few months, if I'm not mistaken, probably maybe less than that, of airtime. Where there was this family on a random just Saturday night, you know, Bob is sitting in the house with his damn wife and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? He's sitting there.
Hey babe, how you doing? Hey, you looking good tonight, you know what I'm saying? I feel good. We here with the family and everything, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we sitting here, they playing the game, I'm reading the newspaper.
And here comes Sally ass coming through just smiling and shit, just happy.
Oh yes, Bob. Everything is so good. The dinner is cooking in the oven and it smells delicious, doesn't it? It smells so good. And Johnny and Sarah is over there playing and the video games and doing the, whatever teenagers do during that time. I'm not the hip mom. I'm trying to be hip. Ha!
But then what happens in that commercial is that there is a loud boom. And there are people all in black running in, just yelling orders. Everybody get down on the ground. Get down now. Now. Just yelling orders. Just imagine you in your own house chilling and then motherfucker just bust in your shit, yelling at you with guns. You gonna be scared as fuck. There are gonna be some people who are gonna shit on themselves, piss on themselves. There are gonna be some people who instinctually are gonna feel like running and they might get shot. There are gonna be some people who are literally gonna be frozen, not gonna be able to listen to anything because they're stuck. And either fight or flight, they're stuck. You got these individuals dragging them out of the house and putting them onto trucks. And the way that it was shot, they got into this frozen frame to where there was this transition into an actual photograph of the Nazis loading up the Jewish people into those trucks to send them to those train cars, which transported them to death camps. And the commercial ends with it saying something along the lines of history repeating itself. The other commercial was like in a subway train. It was packed. People face pressed against the goddamn window and shit. You hear babies crying. Everybody, it's just very claustrophobic and everything. And again, they went through this tunnel and all these lights start to flash and it was shaking and people were screaming or whatever. And then it was a picture of people inside of the train cars, excuse me. Again, welcome to Auschwitz. Welcome to this camp, welcome to that camp. Saying the same thing. Fast forward to today. I'm getting caught mouth a little bit. They're deporting individuals who they get to claim and profess that are gang members. Can't prove it in court, don't even follow what the court asks or what law asks for these individuals to have due process. Everybody is entitled due process, especially if you are an American. And Boss Man showed that motherfucking clip of them white individuals sitting up there, finally feeling like, well, now we have the mic and now we're telling the truth and now we're saying what the shit is. As if though their white privilege is enough to overshadow fact. Girl, you know you narcissistic when your white privilege, you feel like that shit. I don't give a fuck what the laws of gravity say. I don't give a fuck what the laws of society says. I am white and my privilege is here and it overshadows every fucking thing. Or the fact of, oh, I have all this fucking money. I'm a millionaire. I'm a billionaire. I know better than everybody else. I'm able to buy everybody's motherfucking life. And bitch, now I'm motherfucking president and I got my goony ass niggas with me and shit like that. We can do whatever the fuck we want because we have the resources to do it. So fuck the law. I'm above the law. I can buy the law if I want to. And there are people out there that are willing to do dark, horrible, dangerous things to anybody for the right price. Don't give a fuck. I don't take it personal, bub. It's just business. Now they're talking about homegrown, and this is not a fear mongering tactic. This is what the fuck they're doing. You have individuals who don't just sit up there and take a 30-second, 60-second clip and be like, oh my God, and just let the fear just sit there. No, there are some people who said, let me go check and see if this is true. And again, shout out to Boss Man, because that nigga breaking down these laws. He is not a professional, but damn it, at least he doing better than some of these other niggas who are intellectual, self-proclaimed intellectuals. And the self-proclaimed intellectuals are quiet as fuck when a nigga come through with research. Not saying, hold on, wait a minute, wait till next week, let me get the information. Not using that nigga's motherfucking content on the platform next week to be able to respond to and say, well, you said this, and I'm glad you said that. Let me bring this up. So what do you think about this? No sort of constructive conversation. No. And I had to stop myself because, again, I'm battling certain things within myself when it comes down to this type of commentary. Because it's like, again, there's a part of me that says, why the fuck would you even waste your damn time trying to help motherfuckers who fighting against their own help? And that's across the board. Motherfuckers can't sit here and say they want motherfucking help, girl, and then the help come through and they fight the help. Now, if you get into a place of self-discovery and you're able to be accountable or whatever the fuck happens after that, then do what you do, pimping, because that's your responsibility. But when y'all sit up here and claim that y'all want truth and honesty, and then truth and honesty comes through, and then now all of a sudden, you ain't got nothing to say, or you quiet, there's a problem and an issue with that. Are you thinking? Are you trying to figure it all out? And that's why I'm letting y'all know we have to also be vigilant against the lies and hatred. Because the powers that be know what the fuck they're doing. They're preying on your emotions. Why are they telling you don't kill empathy? Fuck empathy. Empathy is bad. Empathy is horrible. Why do you think they profess that? Why do you think they're remixing? They're literally remixing Christ. Saying that Christ was a pansy. That Christ was a sissy. That Christ would rather be doing push-ups and throwing footballs and motherfucking fighting each other and shit, and would be in the damn military as a general or something, when in the actual scriptures that they throw at the queer people, it literally says what type of man he was and the energy that he was able to deal with. Only motherfuckers that want to destroy shit, girl, are motherfuckers who are trying to feel something. There was a certain level of awareness that, according to the narrative, Christ was able to hit, was able to manifest, and even told his people and other motherfuckers that he ain't never known before that you can do the same thing and that you will go forth and do far greater. But you have the lies and the hatred. As you see on the screen, the words consuming. Because again, if you already as a child growing up being told that you ain't shit, that you ain't nothing, being used and abused, and having other motherfuckers dictate what the fuck your life is without asking you what the fuck you want to do, because it's your damn body. What the fuck do you feel? Don't even want to explore with their child to even see what the hell's going on. Is this the phase, or is this something greater than the phase? Motherfuckers too damn afraid and don't want to put in the goddamn work. And those same children grow up to become the adults that are in this world today, broken as hell. putting their responsibilities on other motherfuckers as opposed to being accountable for what it is that they manifest. And as an individual who in the last 5 years has been learning how, especially these last 3, to find my own flow and my own energy, baby, things are scary in my real life. I believe in change so much that change is happening, but I have to let go of what the expectation of that or the journey or transition of that expectation looks like. There'll be things going on in my life, and of course, because I'm a strategist and I think, I try to find ways to be productive in it. But there'll be some times where it seems like no matter what I do, something falls through. To where I be sitting here like, okay, universe, God, source, consciousness, I'm doing what the fuck I need to do. Damn. And yes, me and the universe had that type of conversation sometimes, girl, to where it's like, girl, sometimes can I speak freely? Speak, permission granted. Okay then, universe, woo woo. There is something here greater than us that is connected to us. And we all are so unique in our own expression. All you have to do is find your way to connect to it. But what I'm slowly but surely learning, which really, when I think about it, is a saving grace. And the police is out tonight. Or this afternoon. They are zooming. But the saving grace, if I can get the thought back, shit. Police sirens, girl, kind of caught me off guard, girl. My nigga sister was tingling. Girl, what's going on? Girl, they coming to snatch me out the house next, bitch? What? Shit. I'm trying to remember the saving grace, y'all. Y'all, again, this is BubzDaGawd. This is what happens. Give me a moment. Just please bear with me. I said something about saving grace. What was I saying, universe? Yes. But the saving grace, because I would go back and forth with the universe. See how the universe works? Hey, I told you, get a little bit better. The saving grace in that whole situation is that the universe is working and changing things, but it's not doing it in the way that I believe is going to happen. There have been conversations where I've really been challenging my worth because, again, for all of my 20s or the majority of my 20s to like maybe towards 28, 29, as I was saying earlier with my people-pleasing spirit, now that I was a openly queer man and in the queer community, just like so many other queer men, I thought that, this community was going to be full of love and acceptance, just like it's portrayed. But then when you get into it in a lot, not all, because there are some good gay people that are amazing and dope, but there's a lot of brokenness in the in the queer community, especially the black queer community. Because again, we were broken children who were not protected, who were not honored. We were not even allowed grace for people to even go through the journey of trying to figure things out with us. And now we've become these broken adults who any sort of solace that we feel or connection that we feel is really just touch. But the narrative has been controlled that you must fuck in order to feel intimacy, when a lot of times, a lot of gay men just want to be held. Want to have a place to break down and to cry. To be able to have an opportunity to emotionally release all of what they've been holding in. And yes, I do believe for a lot of people it is outside the realm of sexual, because a lot of gay men and to be honest, a lot of black boys, fuck sexuality, have been told that they really can't hug their dad. Their dad cannot really hold them. Their dad can't sit there and grab their face while they're crying and wiping their tears away without society saying, now some fag shit finna happen. Some people just want to be loved. But do you see how whenever there is an opportunity for that to happen, the lies and the hatred is stoked even more to outflame the flames of real love. But the difference between the flames of lies and hatred and the flame of love is that the flame of love is going to always stay lit. It's the lies and hatred that need more kindling added to the fire, that needs more gasoline added to the fire. I'll give it to y'all like this, and then we're going to go ahead with the rest of the video. When me and my sister used to have bonfires, girl, when we have like little kickbacks or whatever, girl, we were very unsuccessful at keeping the bonfire lit, girl. We bought firewood, all type of shit, but for some reason we could not keep it fucking lit. So there will be times where I'll have to get up every fucking 10 minutes, grab some more wood or whatever. It never just really fully burned either. That's what the flames of lies and hatred needs. It needs consistent kerosene. It needs consistent gasoline. It needs anything that is flammable. And sometimes when you just start throwing in anything that's flammable and you start mixing all these liquids and shits together, you start making toxic shit that can be hazardous to people all around you. There has been times where one time there was a bonfire that was pretty lit at that time where the fire was dying, and for some reason it wouldn't stay lit, so I kind of put gasoline around it, and I took the fire and I tried to throw it in there because, you know, woof. Then there was this green flame, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it ain't lighting. I walked up to it. As soon as I did, whoosh, it just blew. I'm surprised my eyebrows are still intact. But that's what happens when you continue to add fuel to lies and hatred. Eventually, you're going to create some sort of concoction that is going to be dangerous for everyone around. It's so crazy how people want love but fight against it so bad, right? And we've all been guilty of doing that. Which is why, again, self-love is important, because as the title reads, the lack of self-love is going to get you fucked up. And that's across the motherfucking board.
And the pro-democracy movement too easily conflates everyday dupes of the far right's con with the leaders orchestrating that con. We need to hold the Tuckers and Trumps of the world accountable. But we need to win over not all, not most, but many of their followers, frankly, if America is to survive. This doesn't mean giving a pass to racists. It means recognizing racism as an entrenched social system of brainwashing that requires deep effort to uproot. The uncomfortable truth is that some of the most dangerous movements of our time have done much better than the well-meaning ones at giving citizens a sense of comfort and safety and membership in something bigger. For too long now, the pro-democracy movement has not had an adequate, positive counteroffering to the Trump rally, nor to homeschooling associations, hunting and fishing clubs, evangelical church networks, the Federalist Society, right-wing campus organizations, and any of a number of other means by which the right drops its abstract strivings down into the daily rhythms of people's lives. We need, as Bhaskar Sankara has written, to bring back the benign meaning of the political machine, which is to say, political parties that were organized and ubiquitous and locally rooted enough to have a representative in every building. Someone you could call if you got a confusing letter from the IRS or needed help fighting an eviction. That used to exist, it's gone. We need to reclaim the politics of the club. We sit together, we sing together, we pay each other's rent when times are hard.
That is the community that I'm looking for. And yes, it would be awesome to have that community in person. But until we can manifest that, we have to operate in the communities where everybody's going to be at. And that is social media. Because motherfucking 2020, baby, again, as the song said in the beginning of the live, brought clarity. It wasn't in the plans of those that orchestrated this shit, if you ask me. They were not planning on people waking up. Or waking up too much. Or getting the fuck up out the bed. Put their swag on and shit. Looking in the mirror saying, hey, what's up? And yes, I'm gonna have moments where I'm gonna take pauses. You're damn right. Some shit gotta sit in sometimes. Not everything gonna be fast into your liking. Sometimes you're gonna have to sit the fuck down and learn some shit.
Frankly, right now, it is the worst people who are telling the best stories about America, and that is very dangerous. Now, I use the word best in heavy quotation marks, because the only thing good in the far-right story about America is how darkly effective it is. The far-right vividly paints the future it seeks, and it knows exactly how it wants the story to end. All the white people living happily ever after, and the rest of us gone, or dead, or at least knowing our proper place. It is time for the freedom movement to reclaim patriotism, its own authentic version of patriotism, and tell a big, beautiful, hopeful, galvanizing story about the country and where it needs to go. A story that gets people talking, singing from the rooftops, not just voting for you because they think the other side is batshit crazy, but because they are enthralled by your cause. We need to improve our skills of communication to be able to criticize the country's history and sins without making people feel we hate the country. Frankly, we should start flying that flag again, especially as more and more of the right's dupes turn their back on the American flag in favor of thin blue line flags on their cars and yards. When you drive your children out of your homes because you cannot accept the people they have become, or the people they love, or the names their hearts answer to, who is it who welcomes them at the other end of the bus route to cities far away? We do. We embrace them. We make them ours. We work and dance and march and room with them. We love your children when you are unable to. So don't lecture us about patriotism. We know all about loving people we don't know because we belong to something greater. We are falling on our face right now as a country because we are jumping high. We are attempting to do actually what no country has ever really done, to forge a country of all the world, a country made up of all the countries, a country without a center of identity, without a default idea of what a human being is or looks like, without a shared religious belief, without a shared language that is people's first language, a country bound instead by fundamental values of freedom and equality and hope. This fascist uprising we confront is not some powerful movement of the future. It is a last gasp, an authoritarian streak in our heritage that has long ensnared black and brown people, now coming for all people. It is a revolt against the future. We simply cannot give up on changing minds. We cannot give up on changing things. We cannot give up on this country. We cannot give up on each other. I stand before you today with no doubt that we can beat back this extremist madness in our midst and help America be what it has never been, but still can be. Thank you very much.
We get to that still of Lady Liberty. That video was from 2 years ago. Two years ago, that video was made. that called for people to come together as human beings. And this election, unfortunately, showed us what America thinks about human beings. The trauma administration is showing what they believe about human beings. You have people that are afraid of human beings, especially human beings who are different from them. And instead of taking the time to actually get to know these individuals, to know their humanity, they use their privilege to discard them or to label them as someone that I don't have to learn to get. I don't have to know about you. But for those individuals that believe that way, I want you to understand that the universe has something very special for you. And all I can say is that I hope that you're able to survive it and become better. Because there are some people who survive those things and become bitter. And I don't think we need more bitter Bettys in this BI. But there was something that Boss Man said on his live. And again, shout out to him. Where he said that as long as I can reach 5 to 10 people who understand this, that's all that matters. And I believe that. But the human side of me says that it's a scary sign when the objective reality is manifesting in front of you for everybody to see, and there are some people who are just going to choose to fear and not get it. And unfortunately, majority rules. An experience that queer people and black people and just other oppressed groups of people in this country have experienced, and I don't want that to be my experience. Nor do I deserve for that to be my experience. Because there are some of us who fucking survived life trials and tribulations and had to fight hard as hell as children to do it. So do you think that as adults, we're going to sit here and have the same bullshit that we did as a child? Hell no, it's going to be a different type of thing. So, I end the live by saying, that going forward here on BubzDaGawd, for the niggas that love to spread mis and disinformation, at the expense of other people's realities and to profit your pockets, you will always and forever get the smoke. Because some motherfuckers just have to get the smoke. But for those of you who care about humanity, for those of you, I said for the those, girl, for those of you who care about healing, becoming better, experiencing more, and not just for yourself, but for your fellow man, woman, I encourage y'all to use y'all voices and stand in the gaps where there are other people whose voices are being overshadowed by assholes. It's going to get very dark. Take care of your mental health as best as you can. you got a line dance, shit. If you got to bend that ass over, let that coochie breathe a little bit, do what you got to do. Still find ways to enjoy life in the midst of this, and also continue to choose life while going through this. Choose it. That's when the universe really shows up and shows out, is when it's almost seemed like it's about to end. Like everything is lost, that all hope is lost. That's when that glimmer of hope comes through. And unfortunately, as human beings, we tend to learn when shit get real fucked up, unfortunately. I would love for us to be able to manifest some beautiful shit while we experiencing some beautiful shit, as opposed to some evil shit having to happen for us to get to the good shit. I don't know what these next 4 years are going to bring, but there are some hints. You never fully understand the experience until the actual experience happens in real time. It's going to be a lot of ego deaths, and that's for everybody, including myself. There are still things within myself that I'm still dealing with and trying to work through. And all I can do is my best and work through as much of it as I can and live as much as I can, because I don't even know how long that shit gonna be, and nobody does. But all I know is that I'm going to choose life. Don't let these other motherfuckers control your life. You are the driver in this vehicle. You came in this bitch by yourself. You're going to leave this hoe by yourself. So if there's anybody that you should be down for, like 4 flat tires with 12 big niggas inside a 4-door sedan car, I don't know how that happened. AI made it happen. It's yourself. Be down for you. Know who you are. Love yourself. Because this world is going to test you. And anything that is fake, that is put up as a fucking front, is going to be motherfucking shattered. Only what will remain is the truth. And as much as it sets us free, it is also something that we have been told that we can't handle. But we can. But you got to have community around you in order for that to happen. Okay, I feel better now that I said that. Shout out to everybody who came through in the live. Really appreciate it. It's going to be a short one, which is really good. I like short lives. I feel like those get watched more. But I hope that you all let me know your thoughts, especially in the replay. And we'll be back sometime this week. But y'all enjoy the rest of y'all's, I think it's Thursday, right? Y'all enjoy y'all Thursday. Peace.